Okay, Mount Juliet versus Franklin. So many people ask me this question, which one is better? And the answer is not always that simple. So it may just come down to which one really has the feel that you like when you get there and see for yourself. But there are some differences and similarities between Franklin and Mount Juliet, and we're going to talk about some of those today. If this is your first time visiting my channel, my name is Jennifer Gramling, and I'm a realtor here in the Nashville and surrounding areas, and I just put out weekly videos trying to help you get more familiar with Nashville. If you're thinking about moving here or relocating, be sure to reach out to me. I'd be happy to answer any and all of your questions. You can find my contact information here, and you can also find it in the comments, so be sure to reach out. All right, so again, the two most popular places that I do get calls about when people are relocating to the Nashville suburbs, the places that they're calling me about the most are gonna be Mount Juliet and Franklin. There are lots of other suburbs, obviously, but these are the two that I get the most calls about. And it's no surprise really, because they are both in really close proximity to Nashville as far as commute goes, and both have just tons to offer. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into some of the things that separate Mount Juliet from Franklin. First of all, let's just talk about some of the stats. So for both Franklin and Mount Juliet, they're both located about a 20 to 40 minute commute time from downtown Nashville, depending on what part of town you're coming from. Now keep in mind, that's gonna be obviously during optimal traffic times. They can get much longer depending on the time of day, obviously, but that's just kind of a general with perfect traffic conditions. Now Mount Juliet is going to be located here, just east of downtown Nashville off of I-40. It's very convenient to downtown when there's not a lot of traffic. I will, however, say that traffic on I-40 can get pretty heavy during rush hour and with bad weather and accidents and things like that. But if you're able to avoid those times, it's a very easy commute. Also, being located on this side of the city, you're also very close to Nashville's International Airport. And this is just one reason that people absolutely love it over here. If you're living in Mount Juliet, it should probably only take you about 15 minutes or so to get to the airport, depending on which part of town you're in. Maybe if you're on the farther part of town, 20, 25 minutes, but generally about 15, 20 minutes to get to the airport. So this just makes it really convenient and easy for people who need to commute for their jobs to get there very easily. Looking at the size of Mount Juliet, population here is gonna be about 41,000 people in 2022. And Mount Juliet covers a land area of about 25 square miles. The average household income in Mount Juliet is going to be around $103,000 per year, and then they have a poverty rate of about 6.15%. So by contrast, Franklin is gonna be located just south of downtown Nashville and right off of I-65, and also just south of Brooklyn. And again, just being located right off of I-65, it's gonna make it a really easy commute, again, to get into downtown Nashville, just like it is from Mount Juliet. Now again, it should be only about 20 to 25 minutes to get to downtown Nashville, but again, if you're living out in West Haven or different parts of Franklin, a little bit further west of town, it's probably gonna take you closer to 45 to get into downtown Nashville, so you'll wanna keep that in mind. If you're thinking about living pretty far west or just a little bit further from that I-65 corridor, it might take you a little bit longer with traffic and things to get into downtown Nashville. But it is really my experience that I-65 doesn't really get terribly crowded, so really the commute is generally pretty easy, and of course, that can vary. So if there are accidents or weather, things like that, it can get a little more congested. And obviously with all the people moving in town, it's going to get worse as time goes on. But for now, I don't find 65 to be a terrible drive, and I do really drive it almost every day. Now to get to the airport from Franklin, it's probably gonna take you about 30 to 40 minutes, again, depending on where you are in town, but it's gonna take you obviously a little longer. Since you're a little further away than Mount Juliet, it's gonna take you a little bit more of a commute, but it's really not a bad commute at all. It's really definitely doable, especially if you're going in those off times. It's really easy still to get to the airport. And as for the size of Franklin, the population here, it's gonna be about 90,000 people, so almost double that of Mount Juliet. And same goes with the land size, it's about 41 square miles. So again, almost double that of Mount Juliet. Now a lot of this land area is concentrated in certain places as far as development goes, but there are still very many rural parts of Franklin with, like I said, a lot of things being developed right along that I-65 corridor or close to that. But there are still, out towards Leapers Fork and the west side of Franklin, there's a lot of undeveloped parts of Franklin. So that land area does encompass a lot of that. So people are still really spread out and still a lot of room in Franklin. So the average household income in Franklin, it's gonna be about $123,000 in Franklin, with a poverty rate very similar to Mount Juliet of about 6.6%. And so let's talk about a few pros of each of these areas, compare them a little bit, and then we can also take a look at what kind of home you can get in different price points in each of the areas, so you can kind of compare those a little bit too. So Mount Juliet is located right in between two beautiful lakes, which is a huge draw for Mount Juliet. So it's located right in between Percy Priest Lake and Old Hickory Lake. So if you're looking for lake living, this is going to be one of the great places to buy for you in and around Nashville. So you can't live directly on Percy Priest Lake, but you can live directly on Old Hickory with your own dock. So obviously those neighborhoods are going to be very desirable. People love to live on the lake, love to have that private dock and just be able to go out on the lake anytime you want to. If you haven't experienced lake life in Tennessee, it's kind of a big deal. People love it. People move to these areas specifically for that. So again, living on the lake, a big draw for Mount Juliet. And as far as shopping goes, there's plenty of shopping, plenty of things to do in Mount Juliet. So you can find a lot of those things at the Providence Marketplace. So you'll find tons of shopping, restaurants, movie theaters, no shortage of things to do in that area. And then they have plenty of other areas with shopping too. Everything's spread out, lots of grocery stores. You're not going to have a shortage of places to go and get your groceries and things like that. So don't be worried about being too far out and being too far rural. So you will be able to find a lot of places to get what you need, no matter what part of town you're in. And so one thing I will say is that it is more affordable to shop in Mount Juliet, I find, than in Franklin. And that goes for your houses as well. And then as far as development goes, there's just a lot of opportunities for new builds available in Mount Juliet. So lots of new subdivisions are going in that are perfect for those that are relocating here. So they've got townhomes being built, single family homes that are perfect for many different types of budgets and different types of wants. So a lot of different opportunities to buy new builds. And then also you obviously have your resale homes in here as well. Okay, and as for Franklin, the big draw to Franklin really seems to be that small town feel, despite the fact that it's actually much larger than Mount Juliet. So it's that historic downtown that really holds so much charm for people and brings people coming back, wanting to be able to spend their weekends here and enjoying the festivals and all the things that go on in downtown Franklin. And although Franklin doesn't have a lake, they do also have a lot of outdoor activities that you can be involved in. They do have the Harpeth River where you can go out and do canoeing and kayaking and all those sorts of things. There's all sorts of parks and activities. And I don't want to forget to mention Leaper's Fork, which is a great little historic downtown area close to the Natchez Trace Parkway with lots of cute things to do down there too. Whiskey distilleries, breweries, there's just a lot of opportunities in Franklin to get out and have fun. But as for development out here in Franklin, the more unfortunate thing I think for some people is that if you're looking for a new build, unless you're looking for a townhome or a condo, you aren't going to find much of anything under $1 million at this point. So almost all the single family homes being built in Franklin will have a finished cost of over $1 million. So it doesn't mean that you can't find a great house in your price point here, but if new construction is what you're wanting, it's definitely limited to a higher price point. Unless, as I mentioned, you're looking for a condo or a townhome. Obviously you can find those for a lower price point, but your single family homes, not a lot of options for smaller homes on smaller lots with a lower price point. Okay, and so with all that being said, let's talk a little bit about home values and what you can buy in each town for your money. So home values have been going up, with the median sales price of a home in Franklin currently being $723,000, up almost 30% from last year. And then the median home price in Mount Juliet is $473,000, which is up 16% from last year. So what does a typical home look like in Mount Juliet and Franklin at 3 different price points? So let's go ahead and take a look at these listings. They're just recent solds to give you an idea of what you can get in some different price points and compare the two. So $350,000, this house just sold in Mount Juliet. It's a super cute little home, 3 bedroom, 2 bath, almost 1,200 square feet, and it's gonna be on a 1/5 of an acre. It's got a 1-car garage and convenient to really everything. So it's updated, it's cute. This is really a great representation of what you can get in Mount Juliet for about $350,000. And then to compare that in Franklin for about $350,000, you're probably gonna be looking more at condos and townhomes in that price point. You can occasionally come across a single family home at that price point, but they are very limited. So this is a recent home that sold. It was a 3-bed, 1 bath, and just over 1,000 square feet. It has no garage, but you could certainly add one on, and it's actually on a really nice sized lot of just about 1/4 of an acre. This is actually a really cute little house for $350,000 in Franklin. If you want that single family home, you just have to kind of be on the lookout for those and really be ready to jump on it if those do come up. Okay, so now let's look at the $650,000 price point. So in Mount Juliet, I picked this house. It's one of my favorite neighborhoods in Mount Juliet. It just has so much to offer by way of amenities in this neighborhood and lots of curb appeal in here. So I think the houses are all super cute and I really like this builder. So this house is almost 3,000 square feet. It's gonna be 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, and also on about a 1/5 of an acre with a 2-car garage. And now let's see what you can buy in Franklin for that same amount. So this home just sold in Franklin for $650,000. It's It's a 3-bed, 2-bath home with about 2,000 square feet. So it's really cute and updated inside. It was built in 1995, has a 2-car garage, and is on a crazy big lot, right around half an acre. And it's located really close to everything in Franklin. So the location on this is great, and it's just a really cute little house. Okay, and now rounding us out in the $1 million price point, let's take a look at 2 different homes. So in Mount Juliet, I found this new construction. It's in Hickory Point, which is located right across the street from the lake. It's a beautiful 5-bedroom, 4-bath home. It's about 4,400 square feet and on almost an acre. And it has a 3-car garage and just beautiful finishes. And not only is this a beautiful home and lot, but a really desirable location being so close to the lake. So it's just minutes to get to the marina and to recreational access to the lake. So if you want to hop in your boat and you want to be right there on the weekends, not have to travel far, or just keep your boat at the marina and just drive on over there, this is going to be a great place to be without being directly on the lake. So if you want to be directly on the lake, you're probably going to have to spend a little bit more than that, but this puts you right there in really close proximity. And so what does $1 million in Franklin get you? So take a look at this house. This is in Franklin on just over an acre lot. So it's going to be a 4-bedroom, 4-bath house, almost 4,000 square feet. And this house was built in 2013. So it's likely going to need a little bit of updating, but you've got a huge 4-car garage and just tons of room in a great location in Franklin. So as you can see, not quite as updated, not quite as new. You're not going to find new construction in Franklin like you can in Mount Juliet for $1 million. But you will find a home with a decent sized lot that you can make renovations to if they're not already done and really make it something special. So as you can probably see, both of these towns have their pros and cons and just a lot of things to consider when relocating to the area. There's so much more that we could cover in regards to these areas, so just a 10-minute video is not going to do it. I do have videos on both Franklin and Mount Juliet that cover them more in depth, but just to kind of go through and give you a comparison, this is a great place to start. So be sure to check out those other videos. If you want to see more neighborhoods or more information on those places, I've got tons of that out there, so be sure to check that out. And again, if you have any other questions about moving or relocating or any other towns, be sure to reach out to me. I'm available if you want to send me a text, email, or call. Be sure to do that, and I'd be happy to answer any and all of your relocating or real estate questions as far as Nashville or the surrounding area is concerned. And if there's any other videos that you want to see, any other places you want to cover, be sure to send those to me as well, or drop them in the comments and we'll try to get those videos out for you too. Thanks so much, and I'll see you on the next video.